counterfeit tickets, guild rulings, and acquisitions? That sounds like a rough start. Welcome to Parkgoers Go. Hey Parkgoers, welcome to Parkgoers Go, your go-to podcast for all things theme parks. I'm your host, Logan.
I'm your other host, Nate.
And I'm the third guy, Dustin.
And with the first episode under our belt, we are now on episode 2. So, how do we think the first episode went?
I think it went great.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it went really well. I like being able to share a little bit about us, and I'm excited to learn more about the Parkgoers as we continue.
Yeah, and I like the game that we played.
We didn't play a game.
Yeah, we did. Stand by your pass.
Oh,
We played it
did.
3 times.
Yes, we did.
That was like 90% of it.
I like the standby and pass part.
Oh, there we go. I like that part too.
Anything else anybody wants to say?
No, I'm just excited for this episode. This one's going to kick some BUTT.
Well, I think we started off pretty awesome, but do you know what historically doesn't start off too well? Theme parks. This week we're celebrating multiple theme park anniversaries with a focus on 3 that had a pretty rough start.
I will be covering the original opening day disaster theme park, Disneyland.
And I'm going to be covering Universal Studios Hollywood.
And I will be covering Six Flags America.
Take it away, Dustin. Lead us down this merry path of theme park disasters.
All right, allow me to take you back to August 1948, when production designer Dick Kelsey received a memo from Walt Disney talking about a place that would feature attractions like a Main Street and steamboat rides, referred to only as a Mickey Mouse Park. This memo would be the earliest documentation of Walt Disney's plan to create his own theme park, an idea he came up with years before while visiting Griffith Park with his daughters and watching them on the merry-go-round. Little fun fact about his visit to Griffith Park, the bench that he was actually sitting on when he came up with the idea can be found in the same building as Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln in Disneyland. So that's a fun little thing to see. Taking inspiration from places like Knott's Berry Farm, Colonial Williamsburg, and the 1939 New York's World's Fair, Walt aimed to create a place where both parents and children could have fun together that was different from carnivals and amusement parks at the time, which were generally reported to be dirty and unpleasant. For a man who specialized in animation and live-action films, creating a theme park would be an uphill battle. But Walt called on his artists and film department to help design the rides and the details of the park, creating the division WED Enterprises, which would later be known as Walt Disney Imagineering. The main problems they would have to tackle primarily came in 4 forms: location, financing, deadlines, and expectations. The park was originally planned to be built across from the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank. But after the local government rejected the proposal, not wanting a carnival atmosphere in their district, Walt sought out the advice of economist Harrison Price, who after assessing the land in California, found the best choice to be in Orange Grove in Anaheim. Even after the success of Snow White, Pinocchio, Dumbo, and Bambi, Walt still had a hard time securing financing. But luckily, Disney was able to round up a group of sponsors and investors, one of which being the broadcasting channel ABC. Now, Disney and ABC had a very unique deal that was mutually beneficial. Disney would grant ABC exclusive coverage of Disneyland, and ABC would front money to help build the park. ABC's ratings would soar, Disneyland had a financier, and everyone got free publicity. Win, win, win. Construction started on July 16, 1954, giving a year and a day to create the park, an ambitious deadline for a park with a lot of plans and expectations. Here's legendary Imagineer Bob Gurr talking about the opening days.
The concept of creative chaos is a word that you hear a lot of times, and I just thought it was an absolute marvel of super organization without being organized.
Now, while it does seem fun to do the impossible, not everything was fun and fancy-free during the construction, as told by Harper Goff.
Everything wasn't sweetness and light and beautiful during the construction. Walt always came down on Sunday morning And he looked all around, all over everything, took a couple of big sighs, and he said, we've spent a little over half the money that we have on this park. There isn't one thing that any human being would spend 15 cents to come and see. And he said, I'm scared. And he was. This is what worry is.
On opening day, the park still wasn't finished, and Disneyland had tripled its original budget. On July 17th, Disneyland opened for a press preview. But due to counterfeit tickets and people jumping the fences, the 15,000 that were expected to be in attendance quickly rose to over 28,000. Asphalt that was poured earlier that day had no time to settle, resulting in women's high-heeled shoes sinking into it. Due to a plumber strike, toilets were prioritized over water fountains, resulting in many to think this was a ploy to get more people to buy soft drinks. To add to the chaos, many vending machines ran out of food, and people were jumping lines to ride the rides like Autopia and the Carousel. Although July 17th was only a press preview, it is still considered Disneyland's birthday due to the video coverage and the documented commemorations. And if you want to hear more fun information about the making of Disneyland, you can go watch the first episode of the Imagineering story on Disney+.
Great documentary.
It's a fun watch.
Love it.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing, the thing that I was reading the most, that kind of like, obviously it contributed so much to the, like at least the hecticness of the day, is that finding out that they were doing a press release for less than 15,000 guests and almost double that showed up. That's crazy.
Yeah, and another thing I highly recommend, if anybody has the time to watch it, I think it's like an hour and a half. It's the opening day actual like video of that they shot for ABC. It's pretty funny. A lot of stuff goes wrong. And there are also some really interesting cameos. Like you get to see Ronald Reagan before he was president. So he was just an actor. And then there's this great part in Autopia where one of the hosts is waiting at the Autopia trap, and then he goes, "Oh, it's Frank Sinatra." And it's just Frank Sinatra in a little car. But yeah, no, it's an interesting watch.
I think it's crazy thinking about Disney now and like how prestigious it is and how everything is so well done and so well planned, that thinking about its beginnings and how it started from like construction to opening day to even just the special showing everything and thinking and looking back at everything that they struggled through or went wrong, but still had like no problem. I think what was it? I just was reading it a little bit later. Like within a couple weeks, they already hit 1 million guests. That's insane, especially knowing that everything that was going on, everything that went wrong, or like all the rides and stuff, how like some of them were closed during the opening day too. It's just mind-boggling how they're able to like pull through all that stuff of things that would not be, well, I guess now it wouldn't be acceptable because it's so commonplace for these kinds of like incredible experiences with all the advancements in technology and stuff, but it's still pretty wild.
Yeah, that is crazy that despite everything, especially with like building so much anticipation with like the programs and then publicly displaying the disaster that it was and still reaching so many guests like in such a short time. It's like, I mean, I guess we know that Disneyland is great, so there's no doubt about that, but I guess it's like the idea that, you know, not everything obviously doesn't go to plan. It kind of reminds me of I mean, you said like now how, you know, Disney's how it's like such a high regard and like high prestigious and how it's executed, but it honestly reminds me of the debut of, what is it called? What is that event in Hollywood Studios that they have now? Jollywood Nights, I think it is. It reminds me of that, because that was also I mean, definitely not the same scale at all, but it's the only recent example I have, I guess, of like something new and exciting that Disney like introduced, and then the reception was just less than favorable. But they don't really like give up. I mean, it's returning this year, which is pretty exciting. And they're making the fixes and stuff. But it's funny to see how, like, no matter how much time has passed, they still make mistakes that it happens. Yeah, it would have been cool to see.
One interesting thing that did come up in the documentary was that Marty Sklar mentioned when Disney was looking for the finances, he's like, you got to remember that the Disney company was pretty small then. And I like when he said that, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Amusement parks were dying in this country, and Disney was a very small company in those days. And taking that on, if it hadn't worked, it probably would have been the end of the Disney empire.
And I think it's very funny because, like, you look at it, like, the the films I named ended with Bambi. But, like, following that, you hit, like, the World War II kind of era. And that's when Disney was making Saludos Amigos and the Three Caballeros. But when Disneyland opened, that's when, like, Peter Pan was just coming out. And Alice in Wonderland and all these other bigger hits, too. So you're like, it kind of puts it in perspective of where Disney was at the time and how it was still considered something of a small a small studio.
That is, it definitely puts things in perspective, I guess. I feel like knowing that and, like, seeing how it went, knowing how it went is kind of it's kind of crazy. Like, that must have been, like, super stressful. It's stressful in general because it's a lot of money on the line. But, like, I can't think about, like, how stressful it must have been, like, knowing that, you don't have a lot of collateral, I guess, to fall back on if things went wrong. And if it was already, like, touch and go to begin with, to have, like, such a public display of failure, like, that would have been rough.
I still think it's absolutely wild that there were 90 million views on their broadcast. And looking it up, in 1955, for the U.S. population, there was 161 million citizens. That's a massive amount of the population all tuning in, because there wasn't, like, recordings or anything at that time either. You had to tune in at the time for that 90-minute special. I was thinking about that kind of in general with, as new parks, like, coming up and all that stuff. Like, we're never going to see something like that again, where you're going to have some sort of broadcast that's showing you or talking to you. Or, like, what did they have? They had those check-ins, right? Like, weekly, like, show or something about while they were building it, didn't they?
Well, who? Walt Disney?
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah. He used to have these, Dustin, do you remember what it was called?
Wonderful World of Disney. Was it not?
Maybe the Wonderful World of Disney, like, pre-park check-ins or progress check-ins. And it went on for, like, a while. Kind of, like, showing the stages of, like, where the park is at, like, the vision for the park and everything like that. Which is kind of cool. Now I feel like it's pretty, not hush-hush, but, they kind of just show it when it's, like, finished, just to get people hyped.
Well, back in the 90s as well, I think it might have started in the 80s when Eisner took over again. He tried to do similar things like that, where, like, there's a bunch of clips online, like, with Joe Rohde talking about the opening of, Everest, and then they show, like, little glimpses of the Yeti behind, like, a sheet. And I remember those things being very engaging and very, like, oh my gosh, like, that looks so cool. Now it looks like, besides Disney Plus had this thing called the Disney Insider, that they updated when they first opened Disney Plus, but they never updated it after that. And I thought that was going to be something similar. But as of right now, the only one that I know that does something like that would be Universal on Peacock, because right now they have the making of the Velocicoaster, which is very cool. But apparently they used to have the making of Hagrid's, but they don't have it on the platform anymore. So who knows how long Velocicoaster would be left.
The only thing that I can think of recently or as of late that's kind of similar is with Universal's Epic Universe and how they're kind of teasing each of these different lands of as they're dropping the information and their progression of building each land is probably the closest that we're going to get to something like that again.
Yeah, I wish they showed like the progress. I mean, I understand why they don't show the lands. I mean, it's a press release thing, you know. It would be cool to see like the actual progress of like the construction, not just from like YouTube drone videos, but like from the companies itself showing like the stages of each land and stuff.
Disney is kind of starting that again because they have that Imagineering channel where they did show a lot of Tiana's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But after that ended, it kind of just like stopped. I think they made another episode with music, but then it just kind of ended. So hopefully that keeps up. That could be fun.
That was the one thing I was going to say is like the thing that I like the most of those, like the ones that Disney did a really long, like when they were building the park, is just showing different like concept art, but also like the actual animatronics or like miniatures and stuff as you're going around. So you really get an idea of it, which I think that Epic Universe is doing a pretty good job with all the like VR kind of style leading you through the park areas. Hopefully Epic Universe is not going to end up on this list, and I'm sure it will not. But one that does is Universal Studios Hollywood, which opened today, July 15th, in 1964. But to start us, I'm going to take us all the way back to 1914, where a movie producer and studio owner, Carl Laemmle, bought a ranch in California's San Fernando Valley and transformed it into Universal City. And Universal City is a gigantic studio that had its own zoo, its own police, and a mayor. Universal City was called Laemmle's Folly by other studio chiefs, but through expansion and the opening of the second Universal City, the studio would become one of the most successful in film history. Universal City became popular with locals as they hosted grand events where you could see stunt performers and screen idols in person while watching the silent films being made through their studio tours, but came to an end when sound came into the mix and crowds started to ruin their takes. It wasn't until 1962, when MCA acquired Universal Pictures, that the idea of in-person entertainment came back onto the table. On July 15, 1964, they actually brought back the studio tour, but this time with glamour trams that would take visitors to and from sound stages and backlots, thus marking the beginning of Universal Studios as a theme park. But things look kind of bleak after a few years, with the Screen Actors Guild ruling that prohibited visitors from most sound stages and the bustling of productions filming at any given time. The restrictions on the tours were heavy, so the president of Universal's Recreation Division, Jay Stein, pushed forward the idea of creating production experiences as opposed to actual production to keep a consistency in the entertainment frequency and quality. And this kind of laid that foundation for scripted ride experiences. This eventually is resulting, in the tram tour staples like the Flash Flood set, the Parting of the Red Sea, and then further down the line when we had Jaws, Kong, and Earthquake. During this time, Universal would have a multitude of shows and entertainment for guests, but it wouldn't be around 1991 that it would open its first dark ride in the form of E.T. Adventure, which would open doors to many rides in the following years. And if you want to learn more about how Universal Studios transformed into a theme park, we recommend reading Jay Bang's How Jay Stein, MCA, and Universal Invented the Modern Theme Park and Beat Disney at Its Own Game.
Jay Banks!
Okay, are we going to talk about it?
Sure, and just a little fact about Jay Stein, because I don't really know much about him. Apparently he was inducted into the IAAPA Hall of Fame. The IAAPA, which I don't know if you know this, but that is the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, which I know they have a convention I don't know how often, but down in Orlando, Florida. And there's a decent amount of people who swing by there. And it's really cool because you get to see all the new tech when it comes to theme parks all around the world.
Oh, I think I did hear about that. Or I remember seeing a video about like different companies that were doing different tech, and a lot of that stuff I think ended up being used by Disney.
But they do say that if you want to see the cutting edge of technology or like kind of like what's going to be foreshadowed in these major parks, that IAAPA convention is where you want to be, because that's where they look at a lot of that stuff. So it's really cool. I think you have to get invited though, but
Maybe one day.
Very cool.
One day.
But how many times have you guys been to Universal Hollywood?
Probably at least 3 times, maybe 4.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3, because we did go one time specifically for Halloween Horror Nights, which is the best Universal Studios park to go to for Halloween Horror Nights, which is Hollywood Studios.
Facts.
Because it's so compact, it's so nice. And then I think we did go again. I think it was actually pretty decent amount of time after Nintendo World came out, but that was our first time seeing Nintendo World.
That was also for Halloween Horror Nights, just to clarify.
Oh, that was the same time?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that.
Oh, then what did
I'm
we
pretty
do
sure
for
every time we
last time?
went has been for Halloween Horror Nights, which was fun. The last time we actually went to go on the tram tour during the day, and they're having those, I think, 60th anniversary this year.
We did go on the tram tour, and it was so awesome. That was my first time on I think both of our first time on the tram tour.
Yeah.
Have you been on? Yeah. It was crazy. It was so good.
I mean, I really like Universal Studios Hollywood. I love the tram tour. I think if you're going to go to Universal Studios Hollywood, you might as well do the tram tour. But the two things that people say that are like definitely like you have to do is the tram tour, and then also the what's it called? That one show, Waterworld. The Waterworld show.
Yes, I love the Waterworld show. I think now that we're talking about it, I think I did go to Universal as a kid in Hollywood. Do they have the Waterworld show in Orlando?
They used to.
They used to? Okay, then maybe that's what it, because I remember watching that show and then really getting into Waterworld. Same thing happened to me with Indiana Jones after I saw the stunt show.
Right, yeah. No, I get that. But yeah, no, apparently their stunt show is highly regarded, which is crazy because talk about, rough starts. I mean, that was a movie that famously flopped. So, I don't think it actually flopped. I think it just didn't meet expectations, but it was, so bringing it back.
It's a classic now.
Is it?
Is it not?
I don't think so.
In my book,
Waterworld?
it's a
No.
classic.
You don't think Waterworld's a classic?
No.
It's such a. I feel like it's such a staple in like pop culture.
Really?
It's referenced. I see it referenced all the time.
I've only seen a reference in that Bob's Burger episode. That's it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
If you say so. So would you guys say, so we're talking about like rough starts and all that stuff. Would you say that Universal Studios, as it is currently, has, or I guess whenever you guys last went, would you say that it's finally hit its stride and that you consider it to be like kind of coasting on goodness, or would you say it's still going uphill? Like it still has a ways to go to be like a contender in the theme park realm?
I think it's stand on its own. I think it's a pretty strong park still. It is kind of compact. It is a little not tough to navigate, but it's a little inconvenient the way that it's set up. But I mean, I love it. I think maybe some of the I swear up and down anyway that the Transformer ride is shorter, which I think I don't know if it actually is or not, but I really truly think it is. And that kind of sucks because I love the Transformer ride. But that being said, it is more on the smaller side, but it does have some really awesome rides and areas within it, which some of those are going to be coming to Epic Universe. So
now I think with the new Fast and Furious roller coaster that's supposed to span the different levels, I think that's definitely going to be a game changer. to a certain extent.
I did not know about that.
That's really cool.
I don't know what level it starts on, but then it pretty much goes down the side of the mountain. But yeah, with we'll definitely cover Universal Studios Hollywood more in depth at a later point. Well, it just kind of seems like all California theme parks that have a counterpart in Florida are lesser. Right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely would not say that. If we're talking Disney and Disneyland.
I'm just joking. Well, another theme park that is in California that is, not as well talked about is Knott's Berry Farm, which is owned by Cedar Fair, which recently just announced a merging with Six Flags Company, which... What a long-winded segue to get us to our next part.
Thank you for that smooth transition, Dustin.
No problem.
Possibly bidden from the theme park blog while covering the Disneyland opening, the broadcasting company ABC opened a division focused on running and maintaining theme parks called ABC Scenic and Wildlife Attractions in 1962. With one location under its belt in Florida, they were looking to expand when they found a safari park being built in Largo, Maryland, and decided to acquire it. 50 years ago today, on July 15, 1974, the Wildlife Preserve, a drive-through wildlife park, opened with little success. To make the attraction successful, ABC announced an expansion that would include an amusement park, but that idea was scrapped. It was eventually sold to Wild Kingdom host Jim Fowler in 1978 before finding a steady owner in the group of local businessmen who changed the title to Wild World. With this new ownership, rides were added which increased revenue, with a water slide growing into its own water park. Unable to break even, in 1984, the drive-thru safari was shut down. They began shopping for used roller coasters, thus finding the Wild One, which still runs today. In 1992, Wild World was purchased by Premier Parks and renamed Adventure World. In 1998, Premier Parks acquired Six Flags amusement park chain from Time Warner, thus making Six Flags Incorporated. From there, they renamed Adventure World to Six Flags America. This acquisition allowed the park to include Looney Tunes and DC characters, as well as many new coasters.
And also, just to be clear, we were talking about Six Flags America in Maryland, not Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois.
Like, is this technically the first Six Flags because it was later acquired by Six Flags, or?
So this one kind of falls in the middle of the pack, because I was thinking that too, except for now with this merger with Cedar Fair, it's kind of messy. So if you look it up at year open, Cedar Point is the oldest, 1870, and then you have 15 other parks that they own that is older than Six Flags America. Now, if you do it by year acquired, you have 10 in front of it. But yeah, there are only 3 Six Flag parks that were built by Six Flags, like the original Six Flags. The rest of them were acquired. Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty crazy. I mean, considering how well known it is.
Yeah. I find it most interesting is the fact that Six Flags starts off with 3 parks and then is acquired, twice. And I guess they were acquired once and then merged, and through an acquisition and a merger still kept the name Six Flags. Isn't that crazy?
Insane. No.
If we're going to talk about Six Flags, we have to bring up someone which has nothing to do with the way they started, as this individual came into be in 2004.
Can I guess?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Is he the old man with glasses?
Do you know his name?
What? Mr. Flags?
The Monopoly Man?
No, his name is Mr. Six.
Oh my gosh.
And he is appearing as an elderly man wearing a tuxedo with thick frame glasses, usually shown stepping off a bus before he suddenly performed a frantic dance in an instrumental version of We Like to Party.
We like to party.
But he also went on a hiatus, however, has recently come back throughout the first half of 2024.
I did notice his absence, and I was very sad by it.
Every single time that we talk about or anybody brings up like anything about Six Flags, this icon pops into my head all the time. And same with We Like to Party.
I think it kind of goes back to just what you were saying about the namesake. I mean, in my experience growing up, the only other theme park besides Disney and Universal that I really knew of was Six Flags. But I'm from Jersey, so that was like the only theme park around. So it makes sense to me why they would keep the names. It is kind of crazy after going through so many changes that's the one that's stuck.
Now, one interesting tidbit about Mr. Six, it's the only time I remember in middle school faking sick. And I stayed home and I had, a normal day just watching TV. And all of a sudden my sisters came home and they're like, oh my gosh, we were all sitting in class and an announcement came over and it was the Vangabus song, and everybody walked out into the hallway and then just a little old man from Six Flags was dancing down the hallway. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I missed that today. And apparently, yeah, that was like a promotional thing that they go to schools in the area so that people want to go to Six Flags.
They were walking hard. PR was walking overtime.
That is so cute, though. That would be so crazy.
My only experience with Six Flags is I don't believe I've been to Six Flags America. I've been to Six Flags in New Jersey. I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have the safari park where you could drive through. I went on that. Logan, were you there too?
Is that with our grandparents?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With
So
the baboons and they had to move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chaotic.
But another interesting tidbit that you mentioned, Nathaniel, is that Premier Parks acquired Six Flags from Time Warner, which Time Warner, Warner Brothers, famously owns the properties of DC Comics and Looney Tunes. Now, if you look at another park that also has some Warner Brothers properties in it, it would be Universal, which has properties like Harry Potter. So part of me was thinking, well, what if Warner Brothers stops their partnership with Six Flags, goes all in at Universal? What potential that would have? I mean, you could add the Looney Tunes to that whole water park section.
The Looney Tunes water park would be super cute.
That does sound like a really cute ride or park
idea.
Yeah.
Because you can get rid of Marvel Land and reskin it DC. But what happened in the late 2010s, that Six Flags removed all non-Warner Brothers license from their attractions. So they doubled down on the fact that they were sticking with Warner Brothers. So I don't know. It's very interesting, the world of licensing.
Oh, God. I'm feeling a little hungry. Are you hungry, Dustin? I haven't eaten all day.
I'm so hungry, and it's actually perfect that you asked because I have a reservation right now for a restaurant. You want to go?
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's go.
All right, let's go. It's right over here. Wow, this place smells great. Yeah, I feel like I've been here before. Have you been here before?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if I've been here before or not.
Oh, here's a table right here. Wow, this is a really nice place.
Yeah. Where are we, Dustin?
I have no idea. This is
I thought you made the reservation.
I did, but there was just so much going on today and so many things. I don't even know what park we're in. I think here comes the waiter. Okay, listen, I don't want to ask the waiter where we are because I think it's a little bit embarrassing. Let's try and figure out using context clues. All right?
Okay.
Hey, welcome in. Oh, hey guys. How you been? I haven't seen you here in a while.
Hey. It's been a minute.
You don't need the menus. Nathaniel, you want your usual? The prosciutto and honey pizza? The Parmesan ham, red chili flakes.
Oh, yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe just give us a moment. I don't know if that's what I want today, but
okay, sure. Well, here's your waters, and I'll be right back.
Oh, thanks for asking what I wanted. Nathaniel, what did he say? He said honey.
Prosciutto with ham. I thought prosciutto was ham. It's honey prosciutto with ham with pepper flakes.
Did he say flatbread?
I honestly was
So
not
it's a
listening,
pizza.
but I think it's a pizza. Yeah.
If only the waiter could whisper the thing again.
Prosciutto and honey pizza.
Yeah, it was like a pizza with prosciutto and honey and I think red flakes.
Oh my god.
I mean,
all right, so does that sound familiar? It's one of your favorites, apparently.
I mean, it sounds great. So I'm not surprised, but
I know some on Disney property that's like was it Pinocchio Village Haas?
the
or
Haas.
Pizzasaurus? I think we need to figure out like what park we're in. What's a question that we could ask that'll not make it too obvious?
I don't know. I guess maybe we can ask. I don't know what like nighttime spectaculars they might have, or like some like evening entertainment that they might recommend.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Is that too much on the nose though? I don't know. Like maybe we should ask like, hey, are there any princesses? But that might be creepy.
I mean, if we're not at Universal, that would be kind of weird.
Well, if it's a Universal, then we'd be like, oh, I consider Velma a princess of my heart. You know, like we can, try and.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Okay. Oh, the waiter's coming back. Shut up. Hey, waiter. He seems enthusiastic.
Okay, I'm back at the table.
Oh, we're glad. We watched you walk up.
What did you say to my proposition for the pizza?
That I just needed more time to think.
Okay, and I said I was getting waters, right?
Yeah.
No. You already gave us the waters.
No, I didn't. I said I'm going to go get you the waters.
Okay.
No, you said here are the waters.
Did I? Okay, whatever.
I believe so.
All right. Are you guys ready to order?
Yeah, we're still thinking about it. But first, we had a question. We would like to.
It's okay. You can ask.
We would like to. We would like to meet some, different characters and all that stuff, and we don't know where they are from. Like here, like where would we meet some, princesses if we're here around in the area, or which princesses could we meet if there are princesses in this park? Waiter,
I should know this.
you should.
There is a possibility that a princess is near.
Why are you so cryptic?
How near is she?
No follow-up question to that. Thank you.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get those waters.
We have waters.
How near?
Yeah, we do have a couple princesses. There is a lot of the princesses have their own shows here, though. So I don't know if you're really going to be able to get really close up to them. Maybe, I think Ariel you'd be able to.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah.
That's good
I mean,
to know.
I love Ariel. Yeah.
She's all right.
But what could I get you to eat?
You know what?
Maybe not food. I kind of feel like I have a little bit of a sweet tooth. What do you recommend for dessert?
Dessert, you're going to have to try our mini cannoli trios. We got the orange cream, a caramel butterscotch, and a traditional cannoli with some chocolate chips, all garnished with some chocolate sauce and powdered sugar. Mwah.
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 Ah, nice. And just one more question. Are we sitting down? Did you come to us or did we come to you?
Well, you keep saying I'm walking toward you, so...
Just wanted to make sure I was accurate. Thanks, waiter.
Sure, just, I guess, call me back when you're ready to order.
Yeah. We'll call you.
Okay, bye. Mwah.
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 All right, Nathaniel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where we are. What place can you meet the Little Mermaid and also see a show?
I mean, I haven't met Ariel in a while, but the only place I know that has a lot of shows probably be Hollywood Studios.
Okay, so he said Little Mermaid's in a show, but he also said you can meet the Little Mermaid, which Magic Kingdom doesn't have a Little Mermaid show, but you can meet the Little Mermaid. Has a Little Mermaid ride. But Hollywood Studios, you're right, has the Little Mermaid show. Not right now, but it'll come back.
And you used to be able to meet Ariel after the live action. What was that?
Okay, let's focus on the second food, right? Which was 3 cannolis.
Mwah.
Mwah. Right?
Very Italian. And so was the pizza.
Okay, so we're looking for an Italian place. Now, we got one Italian place in each one of those locations that I think might be it. At Magic Kingdom, I think it could be Tony's on Main Street, because that one's all Italian based. Or, do you know the other one I'm thinking about in Hollywood Studios?
Pizzeria?
That's a good point, except for I think we established that we're sitting. So I think it might be Mama Melrose.
Mama
because
Melrose.
that one's pretty Italian too. Yeah.
Great ambiance.
So,
it did look nice in here.
Yeah. Well, it smelled like garlic, that's for sure. Which I love, as we established at the beginning. But okay, what's another thing so that we can nail this? Put one last nail in the cannoli, so that we can figure this out. We could ask about the castle. Like, how do we get to the castle from here?
I guess. Yeah, we can ask how long it would take us to get there. Maybe.
Okay, we'll ask that. Oh, here comes the waiter. He's sprinting up to us now. I don't know why, but
we have been here for a while and we haven't ordered anything except for one.
I know, but he's coming really fast, so there's probably not going to be any pauses. He's at the table now.
I said call for me.
You ran over here to tell us that?
He ran past us. We gotta. Okay. Oh, waiter!
Waiter! I think we're ready.
My 2 favorite guys who won't order food.
Oh, waiter! I think we're ready to order. But one last question.
Sure.
Okay, so after we're done eating, which way to the castle?
You are gonna have to order first to finish eating, but the castle is not at this park. You're gonna have to head over to Magic Kingdom for that one.
Okay. I guess,
right. So
hopefully we can finish in time to catch the fireworks show, but...
Did I ever tell you guys what the special was today?
No.
Sorry, must have slipped my mind. Mama's Italian pasta with chicken. It's pasta, kale, roasted garlic, cherry tomatoes, and of course, Parmesan.
Parmesan, yes.
Do you need more time?
No, I think we have to do. We have a Genie Plus or Lightning Pass for a ride, but can we just get some breadsticks to go? That'd be great.
Yeah, they've been at your table.
Oh, fantastic! We'll just put these in our fanny packs, and we're good. Thank you so much for waiting on us again. Bye. All right, so now let's get out of here. Let's look at. Is that oh, we're outside. Oh, we were right. It is Mama Melrose. I think we got it.
Mama. No, I knew all along.
No, you're wrong.
The waiter followed us outside to tell us
you're wrong. You didn't tip, and you're wrong. No, that was it.
We left a very generous tip.
You didn't. You didn't even. You have to audibly say that you're leaving.
All right, now let's head back to the studio, and where we record the podcast, not Hollywood Studios. That's where we are apparently. All right, we're back. Oh my gosh, that was a crazy time. We avoided some embarrassment.
Yeah, and avoided a meal. Yeah.
Where have you guys been?
We're getting some breadsticks. Do you want some breadsticks?
Where is it from?
Mama's.
What? I love Mama's breadsticks. Next time, invite me though.
We'll think about it.
Okay, Parkgoers, welcome to this segment, which is feature attractions. In this segment, I, your host, will give the audience 3 clues to guess the film and ride associated with that film. Some clue examples can be film year and ride year, a play on words and riddles, or just some facts about the ride or film that can help you get closer to the solution. So feel free to play along at home. Alright, is everyone ready for the first clue?
Yeah!
Let's do it.
The first clue I have for you here is a statement from the CEO and creative senior vice president of the park at the time. He said that the approval of this Florida attraction turned out to be the biggest mistake of his career.
I know what it is.
You do?
Yeah. It's a bell.
Oh my god. You know, if that is the answer, I'm going to have to agree that would be the biggest mistake of anybody's career.
Yeah. All right. What's hint number 2?
Well, hint number 2, keep that in your mind. Hint number 2 is the story and ride itself is generally perceived as absurd. Some would say ludicrous.
Oh my gosh.
That was good. I like that one. Okay. I'm still sticking with.
Yep.
What's the third one?
Yep.
What's the third hint?
The ride and film is all about family.
Oh god. All right. Logan, do you wanna try your hand at this one?
Let's see. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is all about family, and I think ludicrous is also in Harry Potter, so that would make sense. I'm gonna go with the thing that replaced a far superior ride, one of the best rides ever, which was Earthquake, and I'm gonna go with the Fast and the Furious Supercharged.
Agreed.
And you are correct.
I'm so glad that that's an actual quote.
I
like
am
some.
too.
I like hearing some ownership of the monstrosity that is that ride.
Now, I will say that the quote, not completely taken out of context, but is mostly a reference to the fact that the ride basically already existed in California, and it wasn't bringing anything new to Florida. But like Dustin said, it was replacing a very popular ride. From what I hear, I've never been on Earthquake, but I hear it's very popular, so a lot of people saw it as a downgrade. But
that is the subway ride, right?
Correct. Now that's very interesting that you mentioned that, Nathaniel, or at least that the CCO put it in that context, because the majority of rides that do exist in Florida came from the tram tour. So like Earthquake originally was in the tram tour, came over to Florida. Jaws tram tour came over to Florida. Original King Kong ride was tram tour, then came to Florida. The new King Kong ride, tram tour, then came to Florida. So I don't know. I think it was a victim of they had a new ride vehicle, which was the bus, and then they threw a property on it, which made no sense. Because I don't know about you, but when I think of Fast and the Furious, I want to be on a bus that doesn't move. You know what I mean? That's just, to me, a match made in heaven.
You don't think party bus?
No, I don't think party bus. There's no party bus in Fast and Furious. There are fast cars in Fast and Furious. I was going to say,
the fastest car possible, a party bus. And then have all of these super fast cars flying around you, including a helicopter that you get to keep up with.
Right. But I mean, I guess it also makes sense that if in the tram tour, because, you know, the tram is a slow moving thing and everything's moving around it. But yeah, isn't that crazy how we were able to tie this back into what we were talking about earlier, which is the tram tour and the rough beginnings of like Universal Hollywood and Disneyland and Six Flags America, because, you know, we did it on purpose. I think this is a pretty good place to end it.
Well, that concludes episode 2. Thanks for joining us, Parkgoers, and we will see you in the park.
more podcast episodes, listen to us on Spotify or visit our website at www.parkgoersgo.com or follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Parkgoers Go.